Hello, hello, and well, happy 2024. Hope your new year's off to a good start. How many of you have broken your New Year's resolutions already? So, on today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Smashing Pumpkins auditioning a new guitar player. Hey, what's going on? Mr. P here, and yeah, going to sit down and, well, kind of rant on my thoughts on this whole Smashing Pumpkins auditioning a third guitar player thing. Before I start annoying you with my rant, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button below and make me feel loved. Okay, so since its announcement, this has just been all over the internet, so let's backtrack just a little bit here, just for, some perspective. When Billy Corgan and Jimmy Chamberlain reactivated Smashing Pumpkins in 2006, no one knew if James and Darcy would be back. Then 2007 rolls around, the band plays their first show in France, introducing Ginger Reyes on bass, replacing Darcy, and Jeff Schroeder in place of James Iha. In the years that followed, Jeff ended up being the one of the two who stayed and became a full-fledged member of the band. In time, very well loved, and Billy really championed him live too, referring to Jeff as the Shredder, because let's be honest, the guy is a heck of a guitar player. In 2016, James joined the band unannounced on stage, with many longtime fans hoping this was a sign he may be rejoining the band. 2018 comes around and the band announces that James is not only back in the band, but a massive arena tour celebrating the reunion, minus Darcy, is now in place. This left many wondering how exactly Jeff fit into the band with James coming back and essentially reclaiming his guitar parts. So this was described as putting the band in a place to truly recreate many of the sounds you hear on the album in the live sense. And it did. I saw the band once on the 2018 Shiny and Oh So Bright tour, as well as two more times, both in 2022 and 2023. And the band just sounds incredible, supercharged, and most importantly, happy. However, there's one thing that quite can't be denied, and that's that Jeff's, his human role in the band. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Billy absolutely recognizes that Jeff is in the band when he introduces everyone at a point in the sets, but it's nowhere near the capacity of where it used to be. Now, in a way, the band dynamic reverted back with the old banter between Billy and James live. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but the last two times I saw the band on the World as a Vampire tour, Jeff was very noticeably faded into the background. So when he announced that he was leaving the band, it didn't really come as a surprise to me because he almost took the role of sideman, which is fine, but I think to go from being one of the people truly up front to being one of the background guys may have played, a quiet part as to why he left the band. If it is the reason, I don't think fans will ever really know this either, because from all the interviews I've seen and read with him over the years, he's just too nice a guy to go out and be mean or bitter about the situation. He seems super cool, and he went from being a random obscure guitar player trying to make it like any of us, to being in his favorite band. How many people can say they've done that? So, imagine the surprise when the band went and announced that they were going to take auditions to replace Jeff. I can't tell you how many calls, texts, and friends I had asked me if I was going to put in for an audition. My answer was quick and surprising for them. No. And I'll tell you what my biggest reason is. Billy Corgan. Nothing against him at all. I've said it many times on my channel. The guy's my hero. He is the reason I picked up a guitar to begin with. All I ever wanted was to play Smashing Pumpkins songs. And I can play probably a great deal of the songs that they play in their sets, to be honest. But the thing is, how would you go on stage with your hero? In all honesty, my biggest fear wouldn't be, can I play these parts? It would be hoping I don't disappoint my hero. That feeling you get when a parent says they're disappointed in you and you feel bad for letting them down? I feel like it would be that same kind of feeling. And I honestly don't know how I'd be able to get past that. They say don't meet your heroes because there's the possibility of disappointment. Well, yeah, that's really what I would be afraid of the most. So I want to sort of poke fun at the fact that many people have been wondering why Billy hasn't, just had Dave Navarro join the band. I think that answer should be pretty obvious, though. Like, come on. If Dave can't get it together to play in his own band, Jane's Addiction, then how can he be instilled with the responsibility to join the Smashing Pumpkins? Plus, Dave is his own persona, personality, and style. To have him and Billy on stage together, yeah, very cool. And it has happened before when they had that, like, short-lived Sky Saxon tribute band together like 10 years ago. But those are two personalities that would be difficult to share the stage together, I think. Well, I think in, like, these, like, amphitheater arena type situations. So Guitar World recently posted an article discussing 5 things to nail the gig. And they bring up some great points about Jeff, also referencing that he was the shredder. I'm not quoting like that to make fun of him, by the way. That's just, you know, to make mention of the fact that they actually said it too. Geez, I think Jeff is freaking awesome, man. Anyways, they absolutely mentioned that you must be a superb player able to stand toe-to-toe with Billy as a lead player. Now, I want to point out here that many people like to focus, especially the snobby hipsters, who have been giving the band, well, Billy really, all sorts of crap since 2007 that the band doesn't sound as good as they did in the 90s. And I'm sorry, but they sound better. Billy learned how to properly sing and stop screaming like a madman around 1997, and thanks to that, we're able to enjoy these great 2.5, 3-hour long shows now. You know, people sort of romanticize those 90s shows about how great they were. Yeah, they were intense. They were also a mess. I mean, come on. There were so many mess-ups and off-the-cuff things going on that they really were just kind of doing a lot of the basic aspects of the song sometimes, and that was it. Everything else was just insanity. So, since 2007, the band has really had a sound of precision. That's the best way I can put it. It's not loose like it was in the 90s, and that's a really great thing. As to the band with a 3-guitar attack, now this is something the Guitar World touched upon, but I don't think all these people who I'm seeing post auditions or say they're throwing their hat in really quite get. That's an understanding of the heavy use of different gain stages, modulation effects, delays, and pitch shifters. Jeff's role changed in the band. He's not playing James' parts anymore. And those who think that they're going to come in and play all the super recognizable strummed parts and whatnot, I think are in for a rude awakening. Like, you're not going to be playing all those familiar chords and solos. That's all Billy and James. No, you'll be messing with effects and adding the extra coloring that isn't being provided by the basic 2-guitar punch of Billy and James. For reference in some of these, look up live pro-shot videos of the songs Soma, The Everlasting Gaze, and Stand Inside Your Love. Oh, and Once in a Lifetime, too. As these are songs that definitely emphasize the use of, well, really all of those effects. If you're curious as to how Jeff approaches his role in the band since James rejoined, I would suggest taking a look at some of the rig rundowns you can find on YouTube. I found the one from the Music Zoo actually to be the most insightful in regard to what's being used live. Jeff, Billy, James, they all have these like NASA-style rigs. Jeff was using a few rev amps in conjunction with a Line 6 Helix that he programmed for specific songs and albums' tones because, again, it's not the 90s anymore. You're not going to be using a single head in the 412 cab and a small pedal board in front of you like a local theater. To try and stay true as possible to the sounds of all the band's classic albums, this kind of stuff is necessary. Lastly, I think that there is one thing the Guitar World really forgot to talk about, and I feel like it's kind of a biggie too, because I don't care how good you are, if you can't handle this one aspect, you are screwed. So keep in mind that this is a major band playing in front of a lot of people. Like in 2018 and 2019, the band was playing in arenas that were like, I don't know, 19 to 25,000 people a night. In the past few years, the band's been playing a lot of amphitheaters, which are, 15 to 20,000 people. Now, summer 2024, the band's going to be out doing a stadium tour with Green Day. So now you're going to be playing in front of anywhere between like 30 to 90,000 people a night. I gotta be honest, I really hope that the band goes with someone who can handle this, because I see all these people uploading stuff to YouTube and some of it's pretty good. And some of it's like, seriously? Great that you're putting yourself out there, but if you're stumbling like that on YouTube, how are you going to handle being on a stage in front of that many people every night? That's serious sink or swim kind of stuff. Seriously, that's got to be scary. I suppose a plus side is that you're sort of a sideman, so you won't exactly be in the spotlight like Billy, James, and Jimmy are, but still, I really don't think that people are thinking about the fact that this is going to be in front of a lot of people, and that can be daunting for anyone, really. Well, that's my rant for now. Am I going to submit any kind of audition? No. Right now, I'm currently recording a new album with my band Scattered Light, and I'll try to make it the old-fashioned way, with my own heavy pumpkin-inspired songs. That being said, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button below, and if you're feeling real generous, throw me a follow on Spotify as our new single comes out in late March. As always, I'm Mr. P, and I'll be seeing you soon.